Black Power. I want to start by honoring the life and work of our Queen Mother, Doris Higgins. She made her transition this past week. She is the mother of our great brother, our comrade, our super friend, MACCAPONE. Many of you in LA know Mac has been going hard for us for much of his life. You know, everything from police killing us to missing persons to other internal issues in our communities. But any time of day or night you reach out to Mac, Mac responds, and Mac has been there. So now it's time for us as a community to reciprocate that love and support to Mac. He is in need of us with funeral expenses, but also the owner where they stay is already being an asshole, no consideration for what they going through. So all who can, please reach out to Mac, go see Mac, and do all you can. I'm including a GoFundMe, but again, if you can get to Mac in person, that is even more needed. This past week, it was further made obvious that we are in a state of emergency. Satan gave the police more authority, you know, whatever, however that's going to play out. But we see last Monday, 124 people have already been killed by police this year. But today, 6 days later, is already up to 147 people have been killed by these psychopaths. So we know that is looking to continue. In LA, they announced at a CPAD meeting from the Inglewood families to the 60s, the 40s, the 30s, and the Black P Stones. And some people, again, are basically saying good, they don't care. One of the black women in the meeting announced those people are going to be moved to where they need to go. But again, it shows the foolishness of our people. Our people is our greatest asset, our greatest resource. Individualism makes you think it's about money because you think you're going to get master's money and have all this privilege. But even then, he consistently double crosses you. Once you give up your people, you give up your power. Some of the people way 500 years ago, way back in Africa, didn't get that. And they sold a lot of their people, their warriors, their labor force into slavery, and then those same white devils came back and took Africa from them. That's the same thing that's happening in our communities. People don't give a damn when Massa tells them they targeting your youth for being gangbangers, drug dealers, drug addicts, homeless, and you allow them to take all those people out. But again, that's your frontline protection. In many cases, those are individuals who are helping to generate income. And some of you may say, well, they selling dope, but the white people are selling the dope to them. Your same white masters who tell you your young brother and sisters are drug dealers are the big drug dealers selling the drugs to them. But again, it's a psychological warfare to get you to accept your people being eliminated, taken out, and then it leaves you to be taken out even easier. So better wake up and get active now and alert as many people and figure out different ways. One of the ways to combat it is to not call 911, because again, we help to criminalize each other when that happens. Snitches still don't get, when you snitch to the police, it might save you for the moment, but police sooner or later gonna expose you. They gonna throw you out there to the wolves. So yeah, we gotta start being more intelligent in what we doing and having more consideration for each other and stop turning on each other. Also last week, a young brother, Arthur Adams, was killed in Walmart. You know, a few years ago, John Crawford was killed in Walmart. Walmart did nothing for that family, but turned around and helped Darren Wilson after he killed Michael Brown. They put money on Darren Wilson's defense fund. So if you haven't got the memo by now, it's time to sever ties and stop fucking with Walmart. Let them go. Let that shit collapse. This past week, it was also announced that they are going to step up targeting and terrorizing the homeless people, those who sleep in cars. Some people are saying they've been given certain zones where they can go sleep overnight, but according to the homeless count, which happens every year here in LA, they count the amount of homeless people that sleep on the street, sleep in tents, sleep in shelters, sleep in cars. The homeless count revealed that there are more people sleeping in cars than spaces that are being allocated to people sleeping in cars, so that's going to create an issue amongst those people fighting over those spaces who choose to comply. But for many others who don't comply, they will just be straight out targeted, terrorized, possibly killed, kidnapped, enslaved. So again, these are two angles. They're telling us they're coming, just like the first week they announced they're coming after folks with the mortgage. We also want to ask people here in LA to pay attention and notice whether or not your utility bill has gone up these past couple months. We're trying to see if it's something they collectively are doing as far as seasonally raising the rates against all of us, or if some of us have just become more targeted because we know we aren't using these utilities more than usual, but there has been a very unusual increase in the amount they are saying needs to be paid. As far as these ICE raids, our people have taken different positions, some in support, some against. But again, anytime the big bully, the big murderer killer who is attacking you is attacking other people, that's not the time to start saying why you don't give a damn about what's happening to other people. They've already announced 3 different angles of attack against us, so that, if nothing else, should alert us to the fact that it's coming. They're very for real about what's happening, while you sitting up either not giving a damn or actually celebrating what's happening to other people. You're gonna be the next one. And also going along with the narrative that people are immigrants, you know, that's saying that these people have some type of that white nationalism has some type of correct position to label other people illegal immigrants when they are the invaders. They are the illegal immigrants. But once you give into that narrative, you are actually saying they were correct in doing what they did to our ancestors. So, you know, it's time to start having more of a revolutionary and critical analysis of what's going on, as opposed to a reactionary analysis. Also last week, quietly it was announced in one of their Supreme Courts that people do not need driver's licenses to have access to the roads. For too long, they have been trying to bully and extort money out of us, giving us the false illusion that we need to pay them to access these roads. But we will monitor and look more into that, and hopefully more people will start applying that information. Right now, we are in the middle of the 25th anniversary of the Pan-African Film Festival. I encourage everyone to go over there and support that. It's black directors, producers, filmmakers, actors from all around the world who put these projects together. Quite often, many of them don't get shown outside of these festivals, so it's a time to go get a lot of, even more than entertainment, a lot of necessary information. One of the films that they're showing again this year, I saw many years ago. It was directed, produced by one of our comrades, Brother Gregory Everett. 41st and Central is being shown over there again this year. It shows the untold story of the LA chapter of the Black Panther Party, but many other films like that, showing our history, our evolution, our movements around this planet, will be shown. You can go to paff.org and look at the schedule, and all who are capable will go over there and support that. But all in all, this past week showed us, again, we are in a state of emergency. And when you see how people in past times have dealt with this successfully, it has been done through the model of destroy that which destroys you. Destroy what destroys you, period. And some folks will say that's too radical, that's too militant, that's too extreme. But when you consider what's happening to us, it's nowhere near extreme. One of the things police are crying about, they're saying last year 64 police were killed by people. But when you look at 968 people were killed by police, then again, you see that that is not extreme. That is just dealing with something on the same basis which it deals with you. And we get a lot of folks just aren't mad enough yet for that. Some people just don't have the courage for that reality. But again, that's why you will remain a victim. Sees none as equals. They have no allies. Just people who they foolishly use temporarily to save their ass. And that is one of the things that is happening in our communities. Some of the same organizations that have sold us out before are once again responding to the call to stand up and be gatekeepers and oppressors of their own people. We also got some new faces popped up out of nowhere trying to be leaders of our movements. But again, when you look these individuals up, you see they have no background in this. They have no prior work that they've shown building in our community or in resistance to what's happening to us. But again, they come, position themselves, and sooner or later you see they all about money. Or they have been sent to intentionally co-opt and mislead our people, because they know young people right now are pissed off and looking to be a part of something, so they go out and join what they think is something in their interest, but sooner or later find out ain't shit happening but ego-driven shit by motherfuckers who have no intentions on bettering our position. So, you know, we're going to move forward into this week. In a few hours, comrades will be out in Leimert Park again, breaking bread with the community, which is probably the center of what is happening here in South Central. People from all over LA come and for a few hours be African, be black. But the amount of homeless people that have migrated and grown there most definitely is an issue, but not just focusing on addressing the symptom of what's happening, but getting to the actual core of the problem is what we are trying to do. So all of you who have been talking about meeting with us, we waiting on y'all. Again, some of y'all might consider us to be a little harsh, rough around the edges, too rugged, but the more you work against this beast and the more you start to realize what you're actually dealing with, some of y'all gonna become rough around the edges too, if you have it in you the means to survive. Because this beast we're dealing with has no consideration for your life, your loved ones, where you stay, what you thought you had. So that is why we take the position we take. But again, we support everyone right now who is resisting on any level. All power to the people.